The whole list of the folks that you do, I mean, it's kind of become legendary. But the last Super Bowl that John Madden ever did for Fox, I think, was right in the Louisiana Superdome a few years ago. And it was a winning field goal. I think Vinatieri kicked that winning field goal to beat to beat the St. Louis Rams. I mean, Madden must have had a big time.
I mean, you think of all the things that could happen to end the game and all the things that couldn't happen to end the game. I mean, and if you're on that team, that's the kind of thing you want to happen. I mean, you want to win that game, boom, that's how it works.
Coach, what do you do now, Coach? How do you feel your days?
Working on my Facebook page. Yeah, just trying that and Twitter.
So you're all technology. You're all into the Twitter stuff now.
I tweet my Facebook stuff and Facebook my tweeting stuff. Between those two sets of things, try to help Brett Favre make decisions.
Well, what do you think about Gruden? He's the new Madden. I mean, what do you think about?
I'll tell you what, man. I love that guy, Jon Gruden. There's never been a guy who could do the kinds of things that he can do. Jon Gruden has, like, when he will do a nickname, that's the best because, like, the nicknames don't always make sense. It'll be like, they call that guy the milkman because he really delivers the bread. Shouldn't he deliver the milk? But he's so much fun to listen. I love him because I love watching this stuff. That's what smash mouth, hard nosed football is all about. Come on, man. And the way he stands there when they open up Monday Night Football, and I talked to Mike Tirico about this the other day. I'm like, Tirico, did you stab him sometime or something like that? Because Jon Gruden just stands there at the beginning of the game, wide base, checking out. Hey, man, Tirico, I know what you can do with a butter knife. Don't come at me like that.
How long did you work on Gruden?
I just started doing it. When I went over to ESPN, they said, can you do some ESPN people? And I was like, I don't know. And I started working on it, and I had it like in a couple of weeks. I mean, it's just – and sometimes they just start happening. For example, in the last week or two, couple of weeks, I started working on an Adam Schefter.
Oh, really?
NFL insider Adam Schefter, and I didn't have it. And then all of a sudden I talked to him, and he helped me with it for like 20 minutes yesterday just to talk to him live. And it was pretty cool because he was like, according to sources, at this point in time, there's a definite possibility that there's a potential for the AFC East to go to leather helmets next year. Crazy people have multiple voices that argue. Herm Edwards has 3 voices, and they all agree with each other. Like, what do you think about Tim Tebow? Oh, Tim Tebow's a good football player. Good football player. Good football player. Can't play quarterback. Oh, no. Can't play quarterback. It was so funny because I was standing with him yesterday, and he was like, oh, come on, do some more me. You got it. That's me. Ooh, you got it. Nailed it.
President Bush, we root seriously for the Texas Rangers, and we're not sure whether the Rangers, after 2 years ago almost winning the World Series, and now, they've had all these off-season losses.
I could come back and take over, man.
Could you?
Make things happen. And hopefully that would be a good time and a great place, just like McDonald's.
What about becoming the commissioner of baseball, Mr. President?
I think I'd be pretty good at that.
Would you?
Yeah. A. Bartlett Bush-onomy. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's a funny word to say.
Maybe the best personality on television right now is Barkley. I mean, people just love Barkley. He'll say anything, anytime.
I'll tell you what.
Now, he's an easy one to do, isn't he?
Because I know what to say. I say things that are true, and that's what makes me who I am. I don't go out there and tell you things you want to hear unless you want to hear the truth. And that's what I just said. Knucklehead.
I love knucklehead. Do you stand, when you pick somebody out, it's more than just the voice, the face. I mean, there's a lot that goes. Do you stand in front of a mirror? What do you do?
No, I just guess nowadays. I just can kind of feel it. So I just go out there and try and see. It just happens.
Do you videotape, listen to recordings?
Not anymore, no. I can't watch myself. I hate it. So people tell me if it's good or bad.
But when you're working on that person, do you?
I just do it over and over. And then like with the Adam Schefter, as soon as I start getting it, people start going, oh, you can see on their faces. I mean, what I hear in my head's a little different than what you hear too. So I might think I'm nailing it, but then you hear it and it's like, oh, that's not it. And then all of a sudden I change it a little bit. You hear it and you're like, oh, that's good. And I'm like, all right, I'll just make it sound like that then.
Frank, I've always thought that doing stand-up comedy, of all the things you could do for a living, there's nothing would be any tougher. Because it's just you up there.
I agree with you. Hardest thing.
I mean, but you know what I mean?
I don't think so. I mean, it's a formula. Stand-up itself is a formula. And I mean, if you don't like to talk in front of people, that's one thing. But if you're okay doing that, that's a different thing. So I'm okay with talking in front of people. I have no problem with that. But then it's just finding ways to have people feel at ease, and you got to have fun. And if people feel like you're having fun, they'll have fun.
Right. Yeah, but I just, I mean, there's nobody to lean on. I mean, it's you against the audience. I mean, do you ever feel that way where you?
Yeah, but you try not to feel against the audience. You try to have them, if you go into it that way, you're probably going to have a better chance of failing. You go into it thinking, hey, they want to have fun. I mean, there's certain situations that aren't going to be good. You're going up doing stand-up comedy at a laundromat or something like that,
right?
Which is how they do it in L.A. That's not going to be funny. You go up before a music act, but that's why I don't put myself in those situations, because it's not going to work.